can drive me to your heart.
So I had my first problem with the motor. Not a big problem, but it started hard when I was up north trying to fly with Mark Amundsen, and it finally started, but normally it never takes that many pulls. And it was doing it again this time, and I noticed that right here, my primer, the way they have it held on is it's just one tube slipped into the other one with nothing holding it on. That popped off of there, and then every time I primed it, it was squirting gas onto my harness. And I smelled a lot of gas last time too, and I wasn't sure if I spilled some when I was filling it up or what. But something I caught, and now it primed really well, so I have a feeling it's going to start right away here. So no big deal, but I think when I get home I'm going to try to remember to put a zip tie on that or something. Doesn't seem like the best way to connect to that primer bulb, but I guess it works, so we just have to tighten it up a little bit. So we're going to try starting it now and warming it up on the truck. So I know it looks like there's not much clearance there, but I've tested it many times, and it's good on both this vehicle as well as my truck. My truck's in the shop right now, so I'm using this one. But it's pretty scary when that expensive prop is spinning that close to the bumper, but I built that thing and I know exactly how far it goes back, so I think we're all set. I'll get my wing laid out here while that's warming up, and then we'll get going. So when I was flying with Mark last week, his kids either, or maybe him, dropped me a little present in my wing bag. So I got these slick shades right here. So maybe we'll rock these one of these times. It's pretty hard to see out of these guys though, but I like them. So apparently I need to get some sort of mirror or something attached to my harness, because I was in a situation where when I thought the GoPro was on, it was off, and when I thought it was off, it was on. So I missed the whole takeoff, and I flew over my house to wave at my daughter, my wife, flew over all the neighbors, did some fun little buzzing around and waving, and none of it was on tape. And then when I hit the button to shut it off and save battery, then it was actually turning on. So if nothing else, gives you a little idea of the area where I live. Also, my in-flight audio I didn't have hooked up for this flight, so it's kind of a garbage video, but it's got some fun things to look at, and it's hard to tell from the video, but it was a perfect night to fly. It was so calm. So enjoy what little footage I have.
You can drive me to your heart. You can drive me to your heart. You can drive me to your heart. You can drive me to your heart.
Well, I had an amazing flight. I doubt I got much of it on video, which sucks because that was probably the best flight I've ever had. But my friend Ethan tells me that that's the paradox of paramotoring, is every flight is better than the last. So it held true today. It was awesome. Only thing is, it was like butter perfect air, the nicest air I felt since last summer. I was able to go real low in the river valleys and fields, buzz some of my friends' houses. But as soon as the sun went down, the wind started gusting hard. Like maybe, well, I started at maybe 300 feet up and I was getting rocked hard with my trims out. So I quick trimmed in and started climbing, but then it started rocking me all the way up. I was like maybe about 2,000 feet off the ground, and it was still whipping me all over. And I had like almost no ground speed when I had my trims in. So I just trimmed out and lived with it. Got whipped around real hard and got back here and trimmed in right directly above my LZ and pretty much descended vertically down, and then had a great landing. Everything went perfect, other than the bit of turbulence, and that's just something that you get used to the more you fly, I guess, because there was definitely no danger. It was just a total change in conditions at the last minute. I did see on the winds aloft forecast that after 9 o'clock or so it was supposed to pick up higher up, but as everybody knows, those aren't exact right down to the altitude and right down to the time. So I think that little increase in wind hit earlier than they were expecting on Ryan Carlton's site. So other than that, I'm gonna throw this wing away, get packed up and head home. The coyotes are just starting to howl. I'm guessing you can't hear that, but there's one right down here. It's my favorite sound. I hear it every night when I'm going to sleep. Alright, well, sorry for the shitty video. Missed out on a lot. I'll make sure to keep that camera charged up. We'll catch you next time.